result. So here the question comes not to lose the patience. You have to be extremely patient. Over the period of 1 year, 2 years, you have to carry on those initiatives. If we don't understand the people there, what is the real problem there, what is the real business challenges there, only sitting in a remote place from a central side, if we just do some hunky-dory PPT and then share with them, carry on this, that will never work. So the HR काम है, HR वाले का काम है, HR will come, do some things, engagement calendar है, motivational कुछ है, trainings है, and then it will go back. It's HR's job. There is always a HR head. It is there, HR will do. So where
4 screws were inserted in your skull?
Yeah, here in 2 and in the back too. Otherwise, how the frame would be hold. So there's frames going from there, and then there is a vest. With that vest, that frame is fixed.
হ্যালো অ্যান্ড ওয়েলকাম টু টি টকার্স পডকাস্ট। আর প্রত্যেকবারের মতো আমরা সবসময় দেখেছি যে যাদের কাছে আমরা পৌঁছেছি দে হ্যাভ অলওয়েজ বিন ভেরি কিন অ্যান্ড লাভলি হিউম্যান বিংস টু বি আ পার্ট অফ দিস পডকাস্ট বিকজ উই আর ওয়ার্কিং অন a very critical and very important part for tea talkers and for the human beings around, and that is mental well-being. Mental well-being is the need of the hour. We have seen that a lot of people all around the world have been suffering with a common problem, and that is called stress. Unfortunately, people do not identify stress, and when they are identified, they are already down with some chronic disease. So পৃথিবীর প্রত্যেকটা মানুষের জন্য stress management becomes an important part. Even being a behavioral trainer, whenever I have approached various people, when people approach me after the training programs and they take up my number and say that, sir, can I contact you for myself, for my wife, for my husband, for my children? I ask them why, what is the issue? The answer that I get is either they have concentration issue, their focus level has moved, or maybe they are down with immense stress, they can't sleep at night, they have to take sleeping pills. So we decided to call up on this podcast some beautiful people who are veteran in the industry, who have been handling human resource department effectively and efficiently for years, and they are themselves, finding ways and avenues of managing stress. So today I have someone very special, যার সাথে সবসময় কথা হয়নি, অনেক দিন ধরে কথা হয় না, কিন্তু তারা মাথায় মনে সব জায়গায় তারা মনে থাকেন, কারণ তাদেরকে পাওয়া আমাদের জন্য একটা বড় প্রাপ্তি। It is a privilege to find someone really, really special and veteran in the human resource fraternity, and I am privileged, we are privileged to find Mrs. Sampa Bhowmick with us. Ma'am, welcome to Tea Talkers podcast. এবং আমার জন্য এটা খুব আনন্দের that I found you today on this chair. And I would love to know you about your journey as an HR and how have you managed the happiness quotient of your people all through your career. But not just with MCPL, before this stint of yours, আপনি আরও বিভিন্ন জায়গায় কাজ করেছেন, and employee happiness quotient is a very important role, কারণ মানুষ যখন আনন্দে থাকে তাদের কাজের এফেক্টিভিটি বাড়ে। So আপনি কিভাবে দেখেন এটাকে? How have you seen this all through your career?
Thank you. প্রথমত, thank you so much for inviting me here today. It gives me immense pleasure to be here and to talk about this, which is very close to my heart. So, as we all know, from a people front, I think employee happiness is one of the major contributor for the success of the organization, because we keep on talking that that employees are the people first policy. I mean, employees are at the core of the organization. Whatever best you have as an infrastructure, whatever best you have as an digital tools, whatever best you have, compensation, everything you can have best, but the positive environment and keeping people happy, that is most important. So, and that is where I think the HR professionals always have a challenge, because there are different dynamics in every organization, in every industry, and it's not that easy to maintain that and to evolve that in an organization, whatever organization you go. So if you ask me from my so far journey in last 30 years, definitely it is not a very easy path always in the organization to take the initiatives where really able to create an environment where people are happy. As we also know that there are many, people normally talk about, say, monetary benefits and, those parts, but that is actually maybe at some point of time, or maybe to a certain extent, that gives you a bit of relief, but that actually in a long run doesn't make people happy. So the environment, something has to be created which is very deep, which is very intense, and it is lies to the inner core of the organization. So it starts from the how people behave, that is how people live the core values, because every organization we have, there will be the core values. Say for example, you will have a caring culture, you will have a trustworthiness people, but how much, for as an HR, it is important to ensure that how much it is being lived at every level, how much it is being demonstrated. If it is demonstrated well, then only you can create a positive environment. And of course it's not easy, there is a challenge, of course, because you have different people, and especially from a multi-locational point of view, there probably you are not able to, it's not possible to see every day, monitor every day how the workplace behavior is taking place, but you need to ensure, you need to codify, you need to standardize that, so that people behave in the righteous way that is expected in the organization. So that's what the challenge. Now definitely the another aspect here is, people might say that we always say that the managers, the most important part here is with the managers. We cannot always blame the team members that they're becoming grumpy, they're becoming, kind of negative, not working. That is not the way to look at. So first and foremost, what we have always, I have personally, given a special thrust that the first time managers or the mid managers, either who are taking up the role at the first time, or they are there in the role but need some bit of more mature understanding, to always provide them with right kind of input, that make them understand this is what is the right workplace behavior, especially keeping in mind the team members, because they only set the path, they only shows the path. If they definitely no one is denying that performance at the end of the day is needed. Of course the organization exists for that, but there is a way that how you can take the performance from the people. So what you are doing as a manager to motivate the people, how you are keeping that positivity alive. So there are initiatives we have taken where there are a lot of touch points we have created. In my earlier organization also, while I was with Gainwell and other organization, well as Siemens, even at Foster Wheeler, we had created a lot of opportunities where people can have a connect, informal connect, in addition to the formal connect. So the informal connect actually helps them to build a kind of a premise, better bonding. So, and they're able to know each other better. So a lot of engagement initiatives in the form of something very formal and something also outside workplace, informal, so that the bonding becomes better and they understand each other better. So that automatically creates a positive kind of an environment.
No, ma'am, I'll interrupt you a little bit out here. You started well, but you did not able to sustain it or continue it. Is it because there is no tangible outcome of it? Is this one of the reasons, or is it like this has gone a backstage because some kind of work pressure or maybe deadlines have come nearer to them and they have to finish off a project, or maybe the task which has been given to them? So is it because of this that this becomes a backstage, when this, all of us know that this is the primary thing that we need to focus on, because if this is maintained, the rest of the things will be fall in place. So is this the reason, or there are some other reasons as well?
Right. So if I just try to, when I talk about this particular scenario, one of my early organization where we started and then I just saw that it is, losing that momentum, or it is not getting sustained. So reasons are, I would say, that can be clustered into 2-3 segments. One is definitely the work pressure, project pressure, timeline, that is definitely there. The second is that, people have to have that maturity to understand that these results are not overnight of this. So whether that as an HR we could make people understand that don't expect the result overnight. So that there probably I felt that initially there was a gap, that people was thinking that so many things are happening, probably employee motivation would be boosted up like anything, I'll get a productivity would be enhanced overnight. It's not like that. And the third, what I also felt, HR plays a very crucial role. So thus, to ensure that in a sustainable manner, what is the effort as an HR we took? We just created, we also probably at the beginning became very satisfied with us. Okay, lot of buzz has been created, lot of happenings, so probably we have done our job. It's not. So how much from HR side also that is getting monitored in a sustained manner at times, since the result is not immediate. So for example, if you want to take an example of a particular location where probably turnover is high and people are leaving, so there may be many reasons, but one of the reasons definitely people are not motivated. So where you have to deep dive there and diagnose, and then we are doing certain events, initial engagements, we are thinking the buzz is created, good, we are happy. But then immediately we are seeing that even if we have created the buzz, there is not some tangible result. So here the question comes not to lose the patience. You have to be extremely patient. Over the period of 1 year, 2 years, you have to carry on those initiatives. You have to carry on with those touch points. Then only the result can come. So probably, as you asked rightly, that what is the reason? Reason is two-pronged. Definitely the project pressure, these are part of life. That's why the organization exists. That is there. Business pressure is there. But whether in a sustained way those initiatives has been carried on.
Maybe this is one of the reasons that the concept of HRBP has come in, because if you see 25-30 years back, HR was just considered as just a support department, a support function. But fast forward 2025, we see that HR is considered as an important business function. The concept like CHRO, HRBP, these designations, these departments have started so that HR can also sync with the business as well as the employee happiness quotient.
The concept of, you rightly said, the concept of HRBP plays a crucial role here, where this HR partner, plays a balancing role. He understands the business, and at the same time, he is from HR background, so knows that which card had to be placed at what situation, right? So there will be certain project pressure, but throughout the year, maybe there is a kind of, the graph is there. So sometimes it is maybe that due to certain particular time, due to certain business, kind of a situation, so he has to understand that and he has to plan ahead. Now, when I am able to get people into this, and then if I start planning, then things will fall flat. So there the HRBP's role is here to understand that where I can plan, which is the correct time to pitch in. That forecast is that's why the understanding of the business is extremely important. So definitely the concept of HRBP here and also the concept of HRBP here, where they are focused with particular departments or particular region, different organization work in different way, so that they're not, their attention is not diverted. If they are allocated these particular departments or this particular region to work on, so then they are able to focus that particular group and understand the nerve there. So there only, if we don't understand the people there, what is the real problem there, what is the real business challenges there, only sitting in a remote place from a central side, if we just do some hunky-dory PPT and then share with them, carry on this, that will never work. So that's why being in the field, that's why the HRBP's role definitely is important. Being there in the field, understanding on a day-to-day manner, and then, bridging the gap and then devising or creating those kind of an engagement initiatives, or where people are involved, where they can be motivated, addressing those issues. So that is where the HR's role is very crucial. So
even an HR is a human. While doing this, HR is handling, say, a team of, say, 10 people or 12 people in the HR department, and that department is handling a people of, say, 2,000 people in the entire organization. So managing the stress level, understanding happiness quotient of 2,000 people only by 10 people, it's not even a ratio that we should discuss. But while doing this job, don't you think that even HR gets into stress? Even HR are finding avenues to vent out. Even HR is not being able to understand what are the areas where they can breathe properly and vent out the things which are going on in their mind, which is creating a hidden stress for them as well. So how do you see this, like in your department, with your teammates in the department? I'm sure that you have observed, even you yourself have gone into stress, I'm sure, because we are all humans, we are not robots. We have emotional turmoils, we have mood swings. So how do you think that this, because you don't have anybody to take care of, right? It's like mother and children, right? So you take care of your children, but nobody, until and unless the children understand, they don't take care of you. So how do you handle this?
So very nice question. So there are two ways I will answer. The one part, what you are saying, that how it is possible for a maybe group of 10 people or 12 people in any large organization, if there are 2,000 employees, to understand this and come up. That is one part. And second part, you are saying that what is happening on the stress that is being built in the HR team, because they are also under stress. So I'm just answering the first question first. That's why you will see the leading organizations, it is taking care of people is not only HR's responsibility. Here HR always pull in here the managers, especially the mid-level managers and the seniors. And as we say that as they grow up, the managers may be a functional manager, but as they grow up the vertical, they become more of people manager than the functional one. Because when a manager is graduating to a leader, or maybe a senior manager or a leader, so their functional expertise are there. That's no one is taking away from them. And there are people in the team who probably are taking their operational challenges, but they need to be trained by HR on these people skills more, so that they are, because managers knows their people best. Whatever best, as I was mentioning in my earlier conversation, earlier piece, that HR is devising engagement initiatives, this, that. To some extent it is possible. But who knows best? The manager is day in and day out dealing with the team members. So the managers knows the best. Here the best coach is the manager. That's why the concept in today's domain, I'm sure that you being a, the soft skill trainer and the, and the managing leadership trainer, that how much this concept is being built in, that managers' one prime responsibility is to become a coach, successful coach. So that's why a manager needs to wear that hat as well. It's not an easy thing, because he also has to at times have a taskmaster, because he has to get the results, but there lies the challenge. So here you can say, if I talk about stress, the managers are also under stress that way. In one side, they have the pressure of the delivery of the job, but one side they have been entrusted with the people responsibility. So it's a gradual process. That's why so much of deep-rooted intervention, sustained intervention in the organization are being adopted today to graduate them in that level, to build into them the kind of that coaching capability or people managers matured way to deal with the people. So that's why your first question, that it is not HR's alone job. HR's job here to understand the need of that situation based managers, and it's not one size fits for all kind of a solution also, because you have in a diverse organization, you talked about say 2,000 employees and in multiple locations, different managers, and the people are coming from different background. They are maybe functionally awesome, they are maybe technically awesome, but we also can't blame them, because they have come from maybe different organization, there this culture wasn't there much. So now HR's job is to identify, assess the typical need, and then based on the individual need, craft out a program, individual development plan, so that these managers are able to pulled up into that level. So that's where HR plays a crucial role, and it's a partnership. HR has to keep an eye, but then provide the right kind of a solution for them, and to see in a sustained manner how much they are able to receive. Now 100% is it possible? May not, but at least if there is a sustained effort, I think 70%, 80% cases, definitely there are enough examples whether the functional manager has become a wonderful people manager. So here, the HR's role is evolving. Here HR is the internal coach. So manager goes to whom? Manager comes to HR and the people goes to manager. If this can be codified well, then the stress in HR is also less. There is a nice partnership, and HR plays a role of not a transaction. That's why nowadays, the core transactional jobs, operational jobs, either outsourced or kind of managed, kind of a differently, mostly the outsourced thing. So here the core HR especially focuses on this consulting mode. I mean, that's what the organizations are evolving, right? And the perfect partnership between the manager and HR. So that's the answer for your first part of the question.
That's one of the important part of speaking to a veteran person in the field, because you just don't talk about the theoretical part. You have actually, been there, done that kind of a thing. So you know how exactly this needs to be catered.
So that is what. So vis-a-vis, this is the ideal scenario. I think not many organizations evolving that way. But if you compare to a scenario where the earlier example I was telling you that a lot of things are being done, driven from HR, A, centrally to some extent you can do, B, things become at times sporadic, and C, the managers also think so the HR काम है, HR वाले का काम है, HR will come, do some things, engagement calendar है, motivational कुछ है, trainings है, and then it will go back. So it's HR's job. So there is always a HR hai, which is there, HR will do. So where managers become a part and parcel of it, and then they are partner here, and then it is sustainable. And it is, you don't have to do a central, you just decentralize that, and manager himself is taking the initiative, proposing HR, these are the things can be done and all. That's where organization is evolving today. I mean, that it's not an easy thing. I think it's a long way to go. But that's the reason lot many, initiatives and, taking them along in that journey and taking them through lot many, kind of sustained, as I said, individual development plan, but sustainability and sustained approach is very important here.
This is one of the reason I'll tell you, when we normally do IDPs, we have stopped taking, assignments which are on ad hoc, maybe for, come over for an 8 hours or a 16 hours program. We stopped taking those assignments because at the end of the day, we just fulfill man days and man hours, but ultimately we can't help our clients and partners to achieve what they were investing for. So we have created a journey plan always for all our partners that even if you are sending for behavioral development, send us for some period of time, maybe 3 months or 6 months, so that you don't pay out any extra amount, but we take an extra assignment for you so that we can show you that learning graph is increasing and also the behavioral changes can be identified. So we have started using various tools, understanding personalities like FIRO-B, MBTI. We have taken those help of those tools to understand personality. Even learning ability is different for different people. Somebody may be kinesthetic learner, somebody may be auditory learner. So even the methodology of our delivery changes as per individuals. Absolutely. So I think that has to be very well synced with the business. So as a consultant, learning and development consultant, when we talk about learning and development, these are two different things. Until and unless I make the person learn where he needs to go, I can develop him to reach there, right? So that's a two different thing altogether. So as you rightly said, that the happiness quotient is important, which increases the effectivity. HR plays a vital role there, a pivotal role there. But at the same time, HR also needs to create that tree through the top head management or maybe the managers, mid-level managers, to reach out to the mass down there. But while doing that, I have also observed that there are a lot of people in the mid-level management, even they are not able to do this because of various factors. Maybe they have a problem in their ownership in the organization, or maybe they have problem with understanding what they need to do. Like, as you said, many of them do not understand what coaching is. Like, there's a difference between leadership coach and a mentor. So a leader needs to play a dynamic role in all these three, right? So what do you think that 2-3 things that can be inculcated in the organization? Like, if you had that authority or maybe that liberty to implement this in your organization, what are the 2-3 things that you can do, you want to do it immediately?
Right. So one, I'm just telling that from what should be ideally done. Of course, in our organization, we are blessed because our MD and CEO is extremely people pro and pro people, and and he drives himself the people first initiatives. So for HR, that's a boon, and I keep on telling my team members that hardly any organization you will get this, because the Indian CEO, the head of the organization, is so much people centering, driving all the people first initiatives, are telling us, and all learning and development, and providing all sorts of supports, and even giving us ideas he himself. So that is at all not very commonly found. I think very, very hardly, maybe 5%, if not less, that you will get kind of a scenario. So if that is there, then HR's job becomes very easy. But this may not be the case everywhere. I've also not seen this case in all organizations, and this is not the reality all the time. So one is that, as you said, that how to keep it sustaining kind of a thing, and the challenges that you have seen in the organization when you have gone for leadership developments and managers development, that seen that they have been told, but there are certain challenges they are facing. They're not able to take it forward that way. So one is that it has to be top driven. Like the way in our organization, I see currently in my organization, it is extremely top driven. So HR's job becomes definitely really a boon, as you said, it becomes very easy. So that is what definitely, if in any organization to succeed, it has to be walk the talk and showing the path. So that has to be there, top driven. One is that, but second is HR plays a crucial role, as you rightly said, that they do not know. So whether the expectation has been clearly set, whether communication plays a key role here, whether that had been well communicated what is expected out of these managers. That lot many times we see in many organizations there is a kind of a gap. So there it lies, because they know that they are manager, they have been entrusted with responsibility, they have people responsibility, they have business responsibility, but from the people side what they have to do clearly, so that is not there. These many people have to do their performance management, have to do, so those are kind of becomes very tick box again. But throughout the year, whether I need to talk to them, I need to engage them in a proactive manner, I need to understand their personal issues, I need to engage in a deeper discussions. How to do that? It's not easy. Everyone is not, we being HR, probably this is our subject. But the people who is a functional expert, that's not his subject from the day one, and we cannot blame him. So whether we are telling them from the beginning that what is the expectation out of him, right? And as I said that, always I think I'm repeating this, the sustained way to monitor that process, best like in IDP, right? We can come up with an individual development plan, we can for the development of that individual, but whether, I'm not saying policing that, but I'm saying that whether enough avenues, resources has been provided to successfully do that, that is extremely important. And second, that the second phase is that what are the challenges in between the person is facing, to have a dialogue, to understand. And third, this has to continue.
But this has to continue beyond the premises of the office as well.
Absolutely.
All right. So when we are talking about that happiness quotient and employee satisfaction, do you also believe that somewhere and a little bit of practice on spirituality and spiritual intelligence plays a very important role here?
Yeah, definitely. I think in today's world specifically, where there are so much, kind of a diversion, so much, kind of course, the stress and tensions are all there, which may not be all the time in individual's control. The spirituality is to some extent, that is very important. That's why we talk about nowadays a lot on the practicing on the mindfulness, right? And to understand and, to be able to have the deeper connect with the soul inside, right? Thinking, self-thinking. These are not easy thing, because too much of cacophony, too much of pressure. So all the time, people might not, individuals is not probably getting time in their personal space also, that a pure time where they can have the self-talk. Self-dialogue and self-talking is extremely important. And there, that is where we have to also tell people and, kind of create that kind of an environment, or at least providing some kind of a tools and techniques so that people practice, because this is not there available from the day one. People are not aware about it, that it has to be done. And so that's why we nowadays hear so much about mindfulness, and the spirituality has got a deep connect there. But to me personally, The definition of spirituality is little, maybe not that conventional. To me, it is the pure positive thinking, pure self-talk, understand yourself better, don't harm anyone, dispel your negative thought, be away from the negative environment as much as possible. That is what to me spirituality is. Be positive, whatever in your control, try to help people to the extent possible by you. And also try to, because in the environment one is a self, that is what is in your circle of control, but there is something in your circle of influence also. So it's not only limited to the self, but also the people with whom you are coming into touch. At least try to emanate that thought as well. I do not know personally how much I'm able to create that impact, but I try to at least, maybe say in the office, in the team, or probably in my personal environment also, in the friend circle, in the colleagues, whatever, the touch points I have, at least to always, discourage the negative talking, because there are a lot of things, people love, probably this backchatting, backbiting, even in, that we will find in professional space as well as personal space. But these are the things actually creative negativity. People enjoy. But who will take the responsibility to dispel that? If the individuals who are conscious, if they are not taking that responsibility also to stop, also to make people alert, because everyone probably has not got that kind of, maybe consciously is not doing or she is not doing. He probably has never been told that this is not the right thing. So how we create that environment? One is telling self and one is telling others. So there your circle of influence where the people are coming into, under your radar or whoever. So it's not preaching. It's only telling them that, say for example, I'll tell you, in office lot many times happens. I think every office it happens. People do certain, backbiting, backchatting and all. So people might be coming to tell you about someone. And the first question is, lot many times it is on a grapevine, and the person what he is telling, he might not know the veracity of that, kind of what is going to tell. So the first question is, are you sure that this is true or not? Then you get, the more we question, rather than jumping into that, participating into the dialogue and entertaining that, so then you will get a straight answer that he is not confident, right? That because he has, heard from someone. And second, this thing is that, is it going to do, even if you tell or share this, is it of any benefit or it is going to help us, whatever way. So then also the person is not sure. Then the question is, if something, time is very, valuable, if something I'm not too sure and something is not going to benefit me, then why to engage into that kind of a conversation? So let us move away from that and let us focus what we have.
Right. But that's again, I think, individual choices also. Like, see, spirituality is not just about worshipping God. Spirituality is not just about understanding God better. It is about how you are living every day.
That's exactly my point. That's why I say, Souvik, that to me spirituality is not at all you are worshipping God and all. That's your individual belief. People, manifestation is a different way. Some are, kind of very, demonstrates quite evidently, some may not. That is totally individual belief. To me spirituality is, that's what. So divert the negative thought to the extent possible to positive thoughts, positive dialogue, something meaningful, something value-adding, and practice yourself and try to inculcate that to the extent possible inside your environment as well. And, think positive.
Do you think that this is the thought, what you have just mentioned about spirituality? Do you think you preach this and you think like this, and this is one of the important reasons that you have come out from the extreme pain that you had gone through after your road accident? So I'm going a little personal with you, but I think this is what I need to know, people need to know, because there are a lot of people who have not faced an accident, but still they move into a very dark mind, just like that. They just, everything around them are very happy, everything around them are very soothing, all good, but still they find luxury in getting depressed. So having got a second life after your accident, how, I just want to know that phase, we were just talking inside that you are for 3 to 4 months you could not lie on the bed. You are sitting on a sofa. I want to know about that. Like, how did you manage? Is that a spiritual power? If yes, then how did you inculcate that?
Thanks. Thank you for asking that. Yes. So that was definitely a very, very personal experience, but that I've experienced and gone through. So I do not know whether that is spirituality helped me, but I know at least the positive thinking helped me, because one thing I wanted, since every individual is different, so as a personality, since my childhood, I wanted whatever environment is people are they're going through to remain positive, because every time situations will not be hunky-dory, but stay positive to the extent possible. And probably my upbringing environment also helped me, because my parents were also, I mean, that is what environment impacts a lot, as because you asked me in the personal space, I'm also sharing that way. So probably because of my upbringing also, because there are a lot of positive environment I was lucky to go through, in the sense that they were very positive. My parents were very positive, because they also undergone a very difficult scenario in terms of, there is also an accident with my elder brother in a very early stage. So they had dealt that with extreme positivity. So probably that was the first, kind of trigger, which since my childhood brought in or instilled a positivity into me. And that's what my self-analysis. But this, coming to this particular situation, I think it was 2 years, 4 months back. It was in December 2022. I was driving the car, and there was a car accident, and it was quite severe. And I knew that accident is an accident, but of course no one is prepared for that. And after initial jolt is there, and first of all, so I could not initially could not realize how big the impact could be. But when the doctor, diagnosed, and it's a fracture in situ, so this is something very, very serious. And then we tried to fathom that how difficult the situation is. And then doctor gave me that option, that the only fortunate, I think I am very, blessed. I fortunate that normally in situ, as I was telling you, the central nervous system, that's the source, that gets entangled. And people normally, this type of car accident, get paralyzed. So for me, the central nervous system, the center part of it with C2, entanglement didn't happen, but the C2 was broken. And C2 is out of all 6, I think, C1 to C7, the 2 is the most crucial, because that is where the main, kind of a point where our neck moves, right? So the doctor gave me an option that we have an alternate option where you can have a hollow vest immobilizer, which is made of carbon fiber, a frame weighing 2.5 kg. It is from head to this much. I mean, this is a vest, and from here there is frame. And I have a photograph I can show you after this. And then that is fixed in the skull, 2 screw here and 2 in the back. It is put on there.
4 screws were inserted in your skull?
Yeah, here in 2 and in the back 2, because otherwise how the frame would be hold. So there's frames going from there, and then there is a vest. With that vest, that frame is fixed. On that vest is put inside. That's why it's an OT intervention, because you cannot do that in a bay. So that was ordered, and it is tailor-made. Of course, it is not easily available, and it is not adapted in India much. It has been used in US and other countries. So then the doctor came out that this is another option, because even if I do an operation, there is a risk. Here also, I cannot, but the chances of healing is more, but the pain is more, because the pain you have to go through for 4 months with this vest, with this structure, and you cannot lie down on the bed. So think through. So I went, took a little bit of research, and prior to that, when the accident happened, until the time I was doing, the implant was there, I think in a gap, it was 4-5 days. So I was there in the hospital, and as because of C2, so I was allowed to look at the ceiling. So I was not able to move.
And 4 months you just looked up to the ceiling?
No, that was 4 days. After that implant was provided, then I was given that adjustment.
After that, you were just looking straight. You could not turn your neck.
The frame you cannot. If I have to turn like a robot, like a complete turn. I cannot move I was not allowed, even I was not able to. It was excruciating pain, and I was not allowed, even the pain subsides, to move my neck. So I have to go straight, and then I have to full turn and then come. So like that, 4 months, almost close to 4 months I was there. In between there was intermittent checkup. The most difficult part was the sleeping part. So I just slept in an inclined sofa for 4 months. So you said that how to look at positively. So every night I used to tell at my house, my husband and my son, that it's good that at a stretch for so many days I'm traveling on a business class, because it's exactly the posture is like a business class. So I said, business class people sleep like in a long flight. So I'm just, instead of one or two,
An extended business class.
Business class. So that's the way you need to look at life. Otherwise, what's the option? I have to only look at, kind of the goal ahead, that yes, with the hope that it will get healed and it will, it will be repaired with this traction system. It's like a enhanced traction system. That's it. So it was difficult, but then only positive, kind of thinking can keep you. And of course, the environment was very positive, in the sense my colleagues from my office, my seniors in the office, my relatives, my friends, of course, my husband, my son, everyone was very positive.
You said that environment was very positive. It was positive because you attracted that positivity. It is not that every person will get that positivity when they face such challenges in life. Not every person get that. You got it because you attracted that. You manifested that. Every people around you get attracted to that, that frequency, and they vibrate with you at the same time. So I think that is where, in corporate also we call vibes. Sometimes we meet people, we say that he's got a very positive vibe. Somebody says he's got a very negative vibe. It's all about this physics part, right? So, and as you mentioned that, thinking positive, this again is a choice. It is not that I think positive for 10 minutes and the next 20 minutes I keep on using abusive language to people. Right? So the entire positivity dips down, the entire positivity go away, and I move into a negative zone. So I think that is one of a very important reason that you have been a successful human resource personnel, because otherwise just an education in human resource, a theoretical knowledge of human resource can't make a person an effective HR. So when we are talking about this phase of your life, I'm sure that you could not work at that time. You were not able to work. But again, a person who loves to work, how did you manage that particular situation?
Yeah, so it's interesting. So one thing you said, the positive part you said. So one thing I will share. So when my, people used to come to my house to see me, visit and all. So I used to, because I was able to walk, but the walking was restricted, right? So I used to welcome them with smiling face, and they were saying, see, because the sight itself is little horrifying. It's such a big, very scary, and they used to come, oh my God, and they were telling, all these words, kind of a pity and showing. I said, please, I'm fine, it's okay. So they said, who is consoling whom, kind of a thing. I said, that's what they also got, kind of adjusted to it. Second thing is, I love my work, so I cannot be without work. So I think after coming back, I think within few days only, 7 days or if not less, there was my husband, as I said, the environment was supportive. My husband arranged a adjustable table.
Okay.
So I worked in my laptop.
Oh.
And worked in the sense that at least I participated in the meetings and all, because my seniors, my MD, they are extremely supportive, and they said, please don't stress yourself, and please don't stress yourself in any work. But then, after COVID, what happened, the boon here, that we migrated to lot many virtual meetings. This was in 2022. So after COVID, people have adjusted. Teams became a part and parcel of our life, right?
Yes.
So that was good thing. Then I said, how do I be away? And that is what, kind of feeling me more, rather than the pain, feeling me very stressful, that how do I spend the day? Because I have been for so many years, nothing else to do. And I have been used to for that point of time, maybe 27, 20 years with that. So, and then I started at least participating in the meetings through Teams, and the entire office time, say 9 to 6 or whatever, I was always on my laptop, and that gave me a lot of energy also, because diverted me. Otherwise I would have thought on my pain, all these difficulties, oh, so that will be there, you cannot do, you have to adapt. So that actually helped me a lot, at least into be in touch. So I was talking to them and I was participating in the team, may not be in direct.
I think that's also had, created a faster recovery for you.
Yes.
Maybe it could have been 6 months and you recovered in just 3.5, 4 months time, because you were mentally, engaged with work. Your immunity started working in a very positive way. Your injury started recovering, of course with the support of medication, but medicines only work only when we have the immunity system working well and the happy hormones are adequately releasing in the body. So I think this is one of the important reasons that, and this is also a lesson for many people, not just HR, but people who are working across corporates, across the industry. We have seen IT, we have seen manufacturing industry, we have seen retail, hospitals. Everywhere, people are completely bogged up with stress. I think it is a choice about whether you want to be in stress or you want to come out of it. People say that I don't have time to come out of stress. I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time to eat healthy food. But I think that's again a choice. Do you really don't have time, or is it that you don't want to? Yeah. So I think your story, your real life story, is actually a lesson for many who are, going through a turmoil situation in their life. These words, these situations that you have come out, I think this is an important lesson for many. Before we end, ma'am, just last thing that I want to ask you is, we were discussing about the oxygen of life. We were discussing about, apart from work, there should be something that keeps us wake up every morning and wait for a day when we can pursue our passion. How have you seen these passions? And all through your life, you said that you started off during your college life and you have kept on doing it on and off, but still you have kept on doing it. It is again a very challenging thing, to hold on, to sustain that part, irrespective of all the responsibilities that you have in office, back at home. What do you suggest people who have left their passion because of work? I have seen in my training there are a lot of people who had been a fantastic painter, who had been awesome singers, who have been fantastic elocutionists, but they are not pursuing the passion over years. And when I ask them why, they say that I don't have time.
So to me, that I don't have time is not an answer, because may not be everyone, lot many people are there that, as you rightly said, maybe good at something, but it's again an individual choice. Pressure will be there, that is part and parcel of life, but you have to also train yourself to cull out little bit of time to pursue your passion, because people don't understand, may not be to that extent, maybe in a very smaller way, but and for your individual kind of oxygen or individual love and happiness, may not be that you have to be socially present there. And nowadays we know that is also not needed. Even if you do inside your house, that is also okay, but don't leave it. Because if someone, one thing I believe, that if someone knows something to do, other than the work that is there, the professional, that is a blessing for that particular individual, that's his or her quality, whatever way he or she. And if he or she finds joy in it, then this is really a blessing. He can do it and he finds joy in it. The third is that, for livelihood, for day-to-day life, the work pressure, these are part of professional life that will go on. But at least some bit of time has to be kept. May not be in a big way, again I say, but to pursue that, because that has got tremendous positive effect in the work. Because as I said, that there are in the workplace, something is in the control, some may not be in control. So some bit of stress are there, which we are talking here to maybe the reduction of the level, by practicing spirituality, mindfulness, positive thinking, all these are there, but you cannot totally eliminate. As because you're not totally able to eliminate, but to go back with rebound and go back with positivity, this pursuing passion in a smaller way in individual capacity is extremely important. That actually gives you that energy, keeps you positive, and helps you to reflect back more, helps you to be more productive there in the workplace. Otherwise, if that is not there, you are not able to divert your pressure there, and still when the person is going to the personal space, still carrying on that thought, and when coming back the next day, the productivity is going down, right? Rather, if I am engaging myself in what I love to do, little bit, maybe I half an hour, 15 minutes, may not be possible daily basis, maybe weekly or even few days in a month, that is also okay. And I am going back to work, actually my mind is, free from that negative thought I'm carrying. Rather I'm free, that positivity is there, that oxygen is there. Rather I'm able to come out with probably a solution onto my work, a different approach, a different kind of ideas, different kind of way to look at the problem. The horizon opens. Otherwise it will be totally, it will be circling around in a particular space and I'll not be able to open up. So that's why for me, whatever little way, if people are, as you said that you have made, in your training different people, and that is the challenge they say. So people should try to continue to the extent possible, whatever they know, because that has got tremendous good impact, and that creates a very good balance and tremendous good impact in the work life. Rather people take it that I don't have time, so it going in a vicious circle that pulls you down, then the negativity pulls you down. So that should not be. So that's, and always diverse thoughts, keep a person agile, diverse angle of anything, keep a person, be creative, whatever way is possible. So that is definitely very, very much needed.
Fantastic, ma'am. Fantastic. What awesome insights. Ma'am, that was so insightful that you had given us so enriching thought of yours. I think not only me, the entire team back in the camera, the entire team is privileged, they are enriched. And today I think they have found some kind of a sense where they can keep on changing their thoughts towards work, towards their personal life. And I think off camera we were just discussing one important part right now, that every organization should have a confession cell, should have a venting out cell where people from outside will come down and listen to their employees. I think that's a fantastic idea by which we can cater to the pain areas of our employees, right? There are a lot of pains that they are going through, a lot of things that they are not able to share, not just about work, but about the personal life as well, which they are not able to vent out people. Because when they vent out, they think that, they don't vent out just to get suggestions. They just want to vent out, get relieved. I think that is what is the need of the hour. In fact, when we started 2017, in our cafe sessions, we find such people coming up, just to vent out. When they register, they call us and they say, আমি না শুধু কথা বলতে যাব, আমি শুনতে যাব না, আমার শুধু বলা দরকার. So we say that of course we are here to listen to you. Come down, talk to us. শোনার লোক নেই. প্রথম কথা তো আমাদের শব্দ নেই এখন, বলার শব্দ, আমরা টাইপ করি সব শব্দ. we don't have physical connection, আমরা কাউকে হাগ করি না, আমরা কাউকে টাচ করি না. Everything is done through a smiley. Everything is done through a smiley. We just type, and it's not just dangerous, it's sensitive. And the next generation, my child is he's just 9. By the time he becomes 20, 24, if we are not monitoring him, there are a lot of parents who are trying to monitor their children very well, but still with this ecosystem that has evolved, it is very difficult to enhance the emotional quotient of a child, what we call EI. That's very difficult to develop in today's world because everything is controlled by technology. So somewhere, even technology says that we have understood people emotion, but I don't think that will be possible ever in the future, because whatever technology comes in, humans will be the masters, right? So I think I am enriched. I learned from you so much today, and I think I will try to take this up to people whenever I meet them for some behavioral coaching and trainings wherever I go. And I have a demand from you, not a request, that I want to find you one more day in this podcast, and I want to listen to you more. I want to know from you more how and what more you have in your mind to enhance the great things in people. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, that was Mrs. Sampa Bhowmick, and it is all our privilege to find her today in our Tea Talkers podcast session today. And I would love to find her once again in this podcast session. And we all are privileged, we all are happy, we all are enriched with her insights, her intelligence, her wisdom, her talks, her ways of looking at life, and the way she has come back to this life is absolutely inspiring. And I think we always listen to celebrities about coming back from cancer or maybe some other things, but there are a lot of people around us who have fought more courageously and come back to life, and she's one of them. And I am inspired. I think I will be practicing such thoughts from today. And that's in fact one of the reasons that we started Tea Talkers podcast. Thank you for watching, and there are lot of guests coming up in the next episodes. The happiness quotient of people, how we can inculcate more happiness, and let's create an ecosystem of developing a happy environment around us, in our workplace, in our personal life, in our friend circle. I think that's very important, developing an ecosystem which is not controlled by technology, which is just human ecosystem, right? Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.